One of the sadder calls that we get in helping injured workers in Colorado is when someone has a heart attack on the job. Let's say, God forbid, they even pass away, and now I'm talking with a widow. Is it covered? Are heart attacks covered under workers' compensation? It's complicated. Hi everyone, this is Kaplan Morrell with Colorado law firm Kaplan Morrell. We've been helping injured and disabled workers and their families get the benefits they deserve for work injuries since 1997. Hey, if this video helps you, be sure to hit like, subscribe, comment below. We'd love for you to join our online community. In this video, I'm going to discuss how workers' compensation handles heart attacks, because they handle heart attacks very differently than most other kinds of events, injuries at work. So the first thing is that you need to know what is a heart attack, okay? Technically, it's a myocardial infarction. It's a blockage of blood flow to the heart, not to the head or another body. So for example, if you've got a blockage of blood flow to the head, that's a stroke. That's not a heart attack, and strokes are not subject to the same rules that heart attacks are. So first of all, you need to know, is what I'm dealing with a heart attack or not? Now, if what you have, or God forbid your loved one had, was a heart attack at work, then you've got to prove more than just something at work caused a heart attack. You've got to show that you were engaged in what's called unusual exertion, and the unusual exertion caused the heart attack. So let me give you an example of what that would be. For example, if you've worked hard your entire life, you've been like, oh, you know, I've usually I find this with like farmers, dairy farmers, folks who just, you know, salt of the earth kind of folks, and they just worked hard every single day, and then one day they just had a heart attack. And those are the folks who I'm like, it's not unusual. I mean, they were doing what they've been doing for years, and if doing that caused them to have a heart attack that's different, then I'm probably not going to be able to get it covered, with some exceptions, which we'll talk about later. But let's say you aren't having to do a lot of exertions. You're not, you know, your job's you work in an office building, you maybe lift 15 pounds, but now you have a coworker who, let's say they had a heart attack, right? And now you're having to lift that coworker up and help take that coworker who weighs a lot downstairs, et cetera. And now you have a heart attack. That's going to be considered unusual exertion. And you have to prove, so number one, you have to prove that there was unusual exertion. And number two, you have to show that the unusual exertion caused the heart attack. As you can imagine, the insurance companies are going to try to get out of liability two ways. Either A, they're going to say the exertion that occurred wasn't unusual, it was part and parcel of the job, not anything out of the ordinary. Number two is they're going to try to blame the heart attack on anything other than that exertion. They'll get some doctor will go like, my God, the man was a walking heart attack. He ate fettuccine Alfredo every day. I'm just amazed he didn't have a heart attack, you know, just waking up that morning, etc. It wasn't this unusual exertion. Never mind that there weren't any complaints, blah, blah, blah. Before this unusual exertion, I know they were going to have a heart attack, and obviously you're going to need a lawyer who's going to be able to poke holes, needed holes, into that doctor's testimony. But that's where these cases kind of head. There is one important exception to this higher standard, this higher threshold that injured workers have to show in order to get heart attacks covered. And that is, unless your job is a firefighter. Now, I've actually trained to be a firefighter, and I will tell you, it was the scariest moment I ever had in the Navy training to be a firefighter. And so I have a taste, just a taste. I don't for a moment think that I'm anywhere close to knowing what someone who's done firefighting for years does, but I have a good feel for it. And you are carrying a lot of equipment. You are carrying a lot of weight. Not only are you carrying a lot of weight just for your gear, you may be having to move things, carry people, do things. It is a physically demanding, high demanding job. And the state legislature has decided we're going to treat firefighters different. So if you've had a heart attack on the job and you're a firefighter, then you don't have to prove that it was unusual exertion. And you didn't even have to prove that the unusual exertion caused the heart attack. If you've been a firefighter for 5 years and you had a pre-employment physical which showed, heart condition's fine, everything's fine, and then you have a heart attack, the law treats your heart attack as presumed to have occurred on the job. And then it's up to the insurance company to try to fight it. Now, will they fight it? Yes, they're going to fight it. They're going to get that same doctor who will go, oh no, again, the man was a walking heart attack. The exertion had nothing to do with it. But now the tables have turned. Rather than you having to prove that it was work-related, the insurance company has to prove that it wasn't, and that's a harder burden of proof. Hopefully this tells you that work injuries, particularly heart attacks on the job, are fact-dependent, complicated, etc. Please don't think you can do this without a lawyer. If you or someone you know has been injured on the job, please contact us. We help our clients under what's called a contingent fee basis, which means we don't get paid unless they get benefits. And so please call us, text us, visit our website. Our initial consultations are free. You can get equipped, you can get knowledge, you can get peace of mind for free. And if you want to hire us, again, we only charge a contingent fee. Thank you so much for spending part of your day with me.